and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing and join students from Hutchinson Central Technical High School who've just recited the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the national anthem sung by Ujima Company's Managing Director, Byron Brown.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please welcome Reverend Dr. James A. Lewis III, founder and pastor of Miracle Missions Full Gospel Church, who will deliver today's invocation, followed by prayers of hope, presented by Pastor Breck Cockrell of Renovation Church.
We certainly thank God for this opportunity and invoke his presence into this room right now. We thank God for the legislators, the council members, to New York State's first gentleman, Bill Hochul, ECMC, my family, Roswell Park, the greatest running back to ever run the field, Thurman Thomas, to the judges and the crooks that are here. I no longer wonder where I'm having dinner tonight. And of course, we want to thank Doug Jamel, who just bought Buffalo. Let us pray. Gracious Father, thank you for blessing us with leaders who are concerned about the welfare of our community. We thank you for giving our governmental leaders wisdom to identify and courageously address concerns that impact our nation. Thank you for blessing their lives. Lord, your kingdom is an everlasting kingdom. You rule throughout all generations. You always keep your promises. You are gracious in all that you do. You help the fallen. You've helped Buffalo through COVID-19, through a blizzard, to a horrible massacre on 5/14. But now, God, we know that you're able to pick us up and turn us around and lift those bent before their loads. The eyes of all that look upon you to hope, you give them their food as they need it. And when you open your hand, you satisfy the hunger and thirst for every living thing. Lord, we praise and bless your holy name. And we lift up to you the mayor of the great city of Buffalo, the one that is believable, the one that will lead us on to Super Bowl powers. the one who is not only the mayor of Buffalo, but the mayor of America. Bless him, keep us. In the name of the creator, sustainer of all of us, we pray. And the people that love God together said amen.
You may be seated. It was a beautiful, sunny Buffalo spring Saturday. I'd mowed the lawn, gone to a local food market, was not paying much attention to my phone, didn't have the TV on, when my son, who had just got home that week from his freshman year in college, came rushing into the house with my wife. "Dad, did you hear about the shooting?" "What shooting?" I asked. "There's been a shooting at one of the Tops." I picked up my phone, I turned the TV on, and it all came spilling out. Ladies and gentlemen, today we gather just 14 days removed from the one-year memorial of that terrible day. We will never forget May 14th, 2022. The pain and sorrow we feel is still raw, and the loss we have suffered is profound. How do we redeem such a tragedy? So many lives were impacted on that day and every day since. This past year has been a difficult year for our city. We have made it through blizzards and fires and the seeming loss, and then the miraculous resurrection of one of our sons of the city, Damar Hamlin. We've had some dark days this past year for sure. But in the midst of this darkness, I believe there are three things we can do as a community to rebuild, to redeem the tragedy that we have all experienced. Number one, I believe we must have hope. Hope is what drives us forward. Hope is what gives us the need to face adversity. It is what gives us the strength to carry on, to rebuild and to heal. And it is what will guide us through this difficult time. But hope alone is not enough. In order to redeem this tragedy, number two, we must be willing to embrace the challenge to change. We must be willing to examine our own beliefs and behaviors and to make the necessary changes to create a better Buffalo. This will not be an easy task. It will require courage, determination, and a willingness to step outside of our own comfort zones. But my Buffalo family, we have faced great challenges before, and we have always emerged stronger on the other side because we're Buffalo strong. We must always also remember that change is not just about individual actions, but about the collective action. We must work together as a community to create a world where mass shootings are a thing of the past, where our children can grow up without fear, and where our communities are safe and secure. To redeem this tragedy, not only must we have hope, embrace the challenge to change, but number three, we must, I believe, choose love. Love is what binds us together as a community. It is what gives us the courage to stand up for what is right, to support one another, and to work towards a better future. Love is what will help us heal from the wounds of this tragedy, and it will guide us toward a brighter tomorrow. As you notice, I'm a hat guy. I wear them everywhere, especially when I travel. I love Buffalo. I have called Buffalo home now. My family, my 3 kids, and my 1 grandson and a granddaughter on the way. I've called this place home for 22 years, or better yet, 22 seasons. About 90% of my hats have Buffalo, some form or function of Buffalo on it. And when I travel outside of town, it's always interesting. It hardly ever fails that somebody sees me in an airport, checking in at a YMCA. It doesn't matter. There's a lot of people around this country who grew up in Buffalo. And this is the thing I've noticed about them, that even though they may not live here anymore, they're all proud that they are from here. Buffalo family, as we remember those we have lost, let us celebrate the resilience and strength of our community. Let us take comfort in the knowledge that we are not alone and that together we can overcome any obstacle. May the memory of those we have lost be a blessing, and may we continue to have hope, embrace the challenge to change, but most of all, let us choose to love each other. I know Buffalo is a hip-hop town, but I got to be honest with you. I love me some country music. And there's a country song, well known, and the last words of the song says this: love can build a bridge between your heart and mine. Love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time? May every man, woman, and child know that God is for them and his love has covered it all. Thank you.
At this time, I direct your attention to the nearest screen to watch our video presentation, narrated by a very special guest and one of Buffalo's most beloved, resilient, and inspiring athletes.
No one knows what the future holds, but no one expected the unthinkable to happen in Buffalo on May 14, 2022.
Radio, send as many cards as you possibly can.
This is the worst nightmare that any community can face.
Life as we knew it turned in an instant. A devastating wake-up call to each and every one of us.
My mom loved us unconditionally. She loved this community. She loved people unconditionally.
What happened on this street, it didn't just affect me and Zaire. It affected our home.
We have to refuse to live in a country where black people going about a weekly grocery shopping can be gunned down by weapons of war, deployed in a racist cause.
In the city of good neighbors, we are a loving and resilient community, a community that will always remember. We remember. We remember.
With pain in our hearts, the challenges kept coming. An iconic November snowstorm, a deadly once-in-a-generation blizzard.
Our job is to come in every day. This storm was so debilitating, the worst I've ever seen in my life, and we're gonna be out there as long as it takes.
It was one of the most painful seasons in Buffalo's history. It could have broken us. It didn't. We showed the world we can crawl out of the deepest holes and rise. With each challenge, we stayed united and showed our collective resilience. Buffalo's show of resilience is what inspired me during one of my toughest moments.
Welcome back to Cincinnati, where medical personnel have been working on Bill's safety, Damar Hamlin, for the last 9 minutes.
I'm Buffalo Bills safety, Damar Hamlin. I'm blessed to be here, and I'm proud to be a part of the Buffalo community.
Damar Hamlin is an inspiration, not because he got injured, but because of how he handled adversity.
What I went through on the football field, what we've all gone through in recent months, continues to encourage me and many others across the great city to keep fighting, keep praying, keep loving, no matter what the circumstances. Yes, we have challenges, and yes, more will come. For out of the darkness, our city is shining, with more promise than any city in America.
The work that is happening here is very exciting and really a model for our country.
With an infusion of funding, the largest in Buffalo's history, extraordinary investments in infrastructure, housing, economic development, and job creation, and breathing new life into our community.
We will be investing millions of dollars in repairs into the Broadway market.
Signs of progress are all around us. We are on the verge of a real transformation, forging a new path forward for Buffalo. It's true what they say. No one knows what the future holds. What we do know is that Buffalo is a city of resilience. And despite the physical, mental, and emotional challenges we've been through together, here we are, ready to step forward into whatever comes next.
I've been beating statistics my whole life. This event was life-changing, but it's not the end of my story.
Because we are resilient people, the heartbeat of our community, doing whatever it takes to keep Buffalo going, growing, and thriving. Let's go, Buffalo.
Now continuing his historic 5th term as the 62nd Mayor of Buffalo, please welcome the Honorable Byron W. Brown.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon. Family, friends, elected officials, special guests, residents of Buffalo, thank you and welcome. I want to thank the Buffalo Police Honor Guard, the students from Hutch Tech that gave us our Pledge of Allegiance, Byron Brown, who beautifully sang our national anthem, Reverend James Lewis, and Pastor Breck Cockrell, who gave us words of prayer, hope, and inspiration. And thank you, Damar Hamlin, for narrating that powerful video about Buffalo's resilience. Damar Hamlin is a symbol of resilience, an athlete who met his challenge head-on and embraced the challenges necessary to move forward. Let's give him another round of applause. Before I start, I would like to recognize a couple of individuals who are leaving city government who have served their districts well. Council President Darius Pridgeon and Common Council Member Ulysses Wingo. I would like Council President Pridgeon to stand and be recognized. Let's give him a great big round of applause. Council President Pridgeon, thank you for your service to the city of Buffalo, your commitment to our community, and I know it will not end just because you are out of office. Let's give him another round of applause. I also want to recognize the other members of our Common Council who are with us today. Let's give them a round of applause. And I thank the city staff, including my commissioners and directors. One more round of applause for them, please. I'd also like to recognize businessman and philanthropist Russell Salvatore. Russell just celebrated his 90th birthday. That's resilience. And I can tell you that Russell really knows how to throw a party. Russell, I can tell you, I look forward to attending your birthday parties for many, many years. Let's give him another round of applause. Today, I stand here as your mayor, humble, hopeful, and honored to be with you. That we are here together in this grand ballroom at the Statler is yet another testament to Buffalo's resilience. It was 100 years ago on this very day the Statler opened its doors. Back in 1923, Buffalo's population was more than 500,000 people and growing. For decades, this was Buffalo's place to be, a social center for generations of residents, attracting presidents, movie stars, even Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. But as with life, things changed. Population decreased, the building aged, and this property was at risk of being demolished. Thank God for Buffalo's history of resilience and ability to change. The Statler reopening is a victory for the city of Buffalo. Please join me in recognizing developer Douglas Jamal for believing in this building and the project started by the late Mark Croce. You know, Douglas introduced me once, and he introduced me as Byron Jamal. And I said, Douglas, it's all right. I did have a great father, but you can adopt me if you want to. From challenge to change, we have become stronger because of everything we have faced and the positive changes made. As we were going through the pandemic, the state of our city was improving. Then, on 5/14, a white supremacist traveled to East Buffalo and shot and killed 10 precious people and wounded 3 others. His expressed intent was to kill as many black people as possible. Every time I make that statement, I feel anger and sadness. I have to hold back the tears, like many of you. Not a day goes by when my wife Michelle and I don't think about 5/14 and the impact it has had on our friends, neighbors, and our community. In the days that followed, I heard your cries, your frustrations, your prayers for real change. I spent the summer trying to raise awareness about the need to end gun violence. At this time, I would like to take a moment of silence to recognize those whose lives were taken from us. Thank you. Our challenges continued with a historic November snowstorm that claimed the life of City Housing Inspector Mike Muscarella, followed by a once-in-a-generation blizzard that tragically resulted in the deaths of city and county residents. Then, 2023 arrived, bringing with it more challenges. Our grief intensified with the tragic deaths of Buffalo firefighter Jason Arno and city employee Rondasia Belton. Today's State of the City address won't be as usual. It can't be. You need to see the complete picture of where Buffalo stands in the wake of what we've endured and where we're headed. That's why this afternoon my annual speech will focus on investing in our people and will include highlights from 4 different city budgets. These budgets will serve as our financial blueprints for our city's transformation. And today I can say the state of the city of Buffalo is focused and prepared for positive change. We are at a critical point in time. Buffalo's faith-based community call it a sacred juncture, a special moment when all of us should pause and reflect on healing and moving forward together as a community. My proposed city budget continues my ongoing commitment to fiscal responsibility. We will continue to make investments in core areas, including affordable housing, public safety, and infrastructure. Most importantly, we are investing in our people and the people who need it most. Today, I'm announcing a historic one-time bill forgiveness program. This program will help thousands of struggling low-income homeowners become current on past due water, sewer, and tax bills. This investment is about $30 million and includes funding set aside by Governor Kathy Hochul to help East Buffalo homeowners become current. I'm also taking it one step further to help ease some of the stress put on residents during the pandemic. I have directed my departments of assessment, taxation, and law to not hold a foreclosure auction this year. This will give struggling homeowners extra time to recover financially. Our growing city has growing needs. In order to keep up with rising costs, to maintain our ability to provide essential services, my recommended city budget includes a tax increase of 3.8% for a home assessed at $100,000. You'll be paying an additional $46 a year. I'm also recommending an increase in the garbage user fee between $7 and $22, depending on the size of your tote. The increase we are proposing to the user fee is needed to address higher fuel costs and equipment repairs. This will make our sanitation operations self-sufficient. Even with these increases, we are still lower in cost than other upstate cities and surrounding suburbs. It's important that we have an honest conversation about equity. That is a conversation that is critical to the health of our city and our region. As the region's center, Buffalo is the hub for cultural institutions and destinations such as Shays, Kleinhans, the Albright Knox Goonlock Museum, Key Bank Center, Salem Field, the Museum of Science, the Buffalo History Museum, the Ralph C. Wilson Children's Museum, the Buffalo Zoo, and the Buffalo Naval Park. Buffalo also has the greatest concentration of hospitals, colleges, and county, state, and federal government facilities. Many of these regional assets are enjoyed or utilized more by people living outside the city of Buffalo, and all of them are off the tax rolls. City taxpayers have done their part, supporting these institutions by funding capital improvements to the buildings, maintaining the transportation infrastructure that supports them, and importantly, ensuring public safety. The success of city investment is evident by the growing number of people visiting these great facilities. What Buffalo invests supporting these facilities takes away from what city government can invest in its neighborhoods, many of which were historically disadvantaged by a lack of investment. My administration has been focused on righting these historic wrongs. Our residents, many of whom cannot even afford the region's cultural institutions located in Buffalo are entitled to the same level of government services enjoyed in neighboring municipalities. It is time for more to be done to assist city taxpayers with these regional assets. We need greater financial equity. Let's support our shared institutions and overcome our region's legacy of underinvesting in Buffalo's neighborhoods. It's time to increase the share of sales tax that Buffalo receives. I'm also calling on the state of New York to change the aid incentives to municipalities program to return to revenue sharing for municipalities. For Buffalo and municipalities across the state, AIM funding has remained flat for the last 12 years. Revenue sharing would provide predictable annual revenue increases for New York State municipalities, particularly upstate municipalities who face extreme financial challenges from rising expenses. The City of Buffalo is doing its part to close the racial wealth gap. City Hall is one of the largest employers in Western New York. In the years since I took office, diversity in our city workforce has increased by 45%. People of color are now over 40% of the city workforce. The City of Buffalo government better reflects the diversity of our city. I have done this government-wide. And that is from entry-level positions to executive-level positions. I'm once again calling on employers from across our region to do the same. My goal is to reduce unemployment of Buffalo residents, and more than that, help residents attain living wage, family-sustaining jobs. One of our strategies to accomplish this is to expand workforce training programs in the City of Buffalo. That's why today I am announcing Learn to Earn Buffalo, which will expand workforce training programs in our city for youth through adults. Through this program, we're awarding funds to Say Yes, SEIU 1199, and a collaboration between Villa Maria College and Bitwise. We will again partner with the Buffalo Board of Education to provide funding for youth ages 14 and up that have to attend summer school. The money that will be awarded to these organizations will equip our residents with the skills they need to earn higher wages and secure promotions. These awards are only the beginning of this initiative aimed at ensuring the wealth and well-being of our residents. And I want to thank President Joe Biden and our congressional delegation for the federal funds that will make this possible. Another top priority for me is affordable housing. In the face of rapidly rising rents and home costs, we will not slow down our work to create high-quality, affordable housing. We embrace the opportunity to provide affordable housing to our residents, and we are doing more than our fair share for the region as the only municipality with a goal and demonstrated commitment of ensuring that 40% of its housing units are permanently affordable. Since 2006, we have strategically committed $56 million for affordable housing projects that has leveraged $695 million in development. This has resulted in approximately 3,665 new affordable housing units since 2012, and I want to thank our Common Council for their support of these efforts. The Buffalo Municipal Housing Authority's Marine Drive, Commodore Perry, and Schaefer Village are each poised for major change, one of the most ambitious redevelopment undertakings in Buffalo's history. In the months to come, we will see major progress on all three projects. When complete, this unprecedented public-private investment in affordable housing will top $1 billion. Last year, we saw a high rate of development in East Buffalo and West Buffalo alone. There was over $300 million in investment. In collaboration with minority developers, we are bringing new investment to many East Buffalo neighborhoods, including Jefferson Avenue. I'm also proud to announce a $1 million award to the African American Cultural Center reconstruction project. The new building will be an anchor for Buffalo's Black community and a destination that will attract people from across the region. In addition to investing in our youth and residents, we must continue to ensure the quality of life in our neighborhoods. Public safety is the foundation for a strong community. In Buffalo, overall violent crime is down 11% this year. Homicides are down 50%, and shooting incidents are down 28%. I thank the men and women of our Buffalo Police Department for the work that they do to protect the safety of our community. Let's give them a round of applause. Also, as part of our effort to maintain staffing levels in the Buffalo Police Department, we are currently offering the Buffalo Police Exam. Members of the Buffalo Fire Department are also some of our bravest frontline workers. This year, the city will buy 11 new pieces of equipment, including a ladder truck and a pumper truck for our fire department. We're also adding to our Department of Public Works fleet. This will include 24 pieces of snow fighting equipment and a vehicle rook, which is a tool that can be used to safely move stranded vehicles. We've also earmarked $1 million toward the cost of emergency snow removal contractors. In addition, we're moving forward with plans for a state-of-the-art Department of Public Works campus and resiliency center. Thank you to Governor Kathy Hochul for her commitment of $10 million, and I would also like to thank our state legislative delegation. Let's give them all a round of applause. We must also, again, thank all of our frontline workers who worked tirelessly through the pandemic, working when it wasn't clear what the effects of COVID would be. My administration has set aside $11 million for a one-time hazard pay allocation to our city frontline workers. In neighborhoods citywide, we will invest over $12 million to repave streets and almost $8 million on new sidewalks. Also, to protect the health of our children and families, we've included a $10 million investment to replace old lead lines. In the last 5 years, we've replaced more than 1,000 lead lines throughout our city to protect our children from the dangers of lead poisoning. More improvements are heading to city parks and park facilities as well. Some of the improvements include new sports facilities at Emerson Park and Kingsley Park, a sports complex at Shoshone Park, and improvements to JFK Park and O'Kell Park. The new investment projects bring my administration's total investment in parks to more than $91 million since 2006. As I conclude, I want to go back to where I started today. We're just a few days away from the one-year remembrance of 514. No one is looking forward to this somber milestone, but it's important that we remember. I want to take this moment to thank my partner in government, County Executive Mark Polenkars, for his support and for the resources he provided during that very painful time. I am grateful to the members of my 514 Remembrance Committee who have been working closely with the families, survivors, and our community on respectful ways to reflect on May 14th. I want to thank co-chairs Eunice Lewin, SUNY trustee, and Dr. Michael Edbauer, president of Highmark, for leading this effort. I would like to publicly invite all residents to take part in our panel discussions, community gatherings, and healing services that will begin on Friday, May 12th. You'll find the full schedule of events on the back of your program. From challenge to change, Buffalo is a resilient city. We have much to be proud of, and our greatest asset is our people. Let me use the words of Damar Hamlin when he said, "I've been beating statistics my whole life. Our community has too. This is our time. Let's continue to stand together. Let's continue to fight together. Let's continue to pray together. Let's continue to love together to move our great city, to move our great community forward." Thank you all for your support, your trust, and your partnership. May God bless all of you, and may God bless the great city of Buffalo.